Here we are at Wild at Heart Rescue. We're going to go inside, talk to Bob Fox, and see what he has to say. But before we do, I just want you to know, I'll always love you. Bob, thank you so much for having us here today. I am just in awe of what we're about to see. The burning question is, what was the very first thing you ever rescued?
Well, the first bird that I actually physically went out and rescued was a red-tailed hawk that I looked at. I was on a guy's carport. It was dead. And I learned very quickly not to go by appearances. I reached down for it and it grabbed a hold of me, and its back talon went right through the ball of my thumb to the bone and just, clapped on. So I learned very quickly to use gloves and started from there. And owls were really the ones that really started us going here.
So you have this one creature that you rescued, and how do you go from that one to now over 200?
Well, we were volunteers at another facility. We saw a need for more than a 9 to 5, 5-day-a-week organization, and a little bit more specialization. And a lot of organizations do everything, and we thought, well, we'll focus on owls.
Well, that means that was meant to be for you.
Yes,
correct?
a path opened up, and we blindly walked down it.
Yeah, because there are no coincidences in life.
No.
And this is your passion. How and what can the general public do to help you?
The best thing to do is just awareness. If they find an injured animal, call us right away. Don't wait for it. Stay by it until somebody can get help with it or try and contain it. Also, obviously, donations. We're a full nonprofit, and we don't get a lot of corporate funding. We don't have big, massive fundraisers every year for our facility. We don't have paid staff, so everything here is volunteers. So we need people to donate, goods, money, obviously, and time. We're always looking for volunteers. Volunteers are very, very important to the heartblood of Wild at Heart.
Absolutely. Well, I know that your message will get out there and be heard, and I can't wait to see what we have going on. So,
all right,
let's get to it.
Come on, let's take a walk.
Let's go. So what area are we in right now, Bob?
This is just one of our rehab corridors. Here we've got a male bald eagle that was hit probably by a car or a truck and was on the ground for 3 or 4 days with an open fracture, and a lot of dirt, debris got in the wound. So by the time he came in, he had 5 different types of bacteria and a fungal infection in the bone.
So without this facility here,
he would not have survived, probably, yeah.
But your main goal is you treat them and then
release them back into the wild. This is a non-native species. It's a Eurasian eagle owl.
Hello, beauty.
Well, one of the largest owls in the world. She's one that was imprinted by a human, and she's lost her identity as a species, and so she's very psychologically damaged. Imprinting is when an animal is hatched, born, etc., and all it sees taking care of it is a human. If it doesn't have its own kind around it, it starts associating only with humans. It becomes hardwired, and that's what they associate with. So you put like an owl or a hawk that's imprinted with another one, they won't know what it is, and they can't associate with it. So they're doomed to a life of captivity and solidarity, unfortunately.
Yeah, that is so sad.
So we're working gradually with her to gain her trust. We want to use her for education. A lot of people will food train their birds, and we don't do that. Food training is when they're fed, trained to feed only on the glove.
Right.
And they're kept on 20-25% underweight, so they're always hungry. Because birds only eat when they're hungry. And so we don't do that here. We work with them until they're comfortable, they're well fed, they're well housed, and then when they feel safe and secure, they can go out and do programs with us.
Right, and this is just absolutely beautiful. I mean, I have never been this close, and I'm in such awe right now. Hello, baby.
Yeah, she is.
Oh! I know, I want to see you too. Well, hello. Now, are they this friendly towards human beings?
No. The idea here is to keep them wary of humans, the birds that are going to get released. We don't want them to have any association with people.
I really want to take you,
And
little girl.
what we do is, so that we don't imprint or habituate, which is a lesser degree of humanization, is we put our young birds in with adults of their own species.
How many birds do you have on site?
Well over
Altogether?
200.
Is that 200 owls or 200?
Owls and hawks.
Owls and hawks
Yeah.
combined? And how long do owls live? Oh!
They depend on the species. Average lifespan for most large birds of prey is only 3 to 5 years. It's because the first year mortality is very
3 to
high.
5 years?
First year mortality is very high.
Now let's talk about their eyes for a little bit because they seem to dilate and get large.
They
again.
do actually. Owl eyes are very unique. Number one, they're huge in their sockets. If the human eye was the same in relation to their skull as the owl's eyes, it'd be like having softballs stuffed in your eye orbits. So there's no room for muscles to control eye movement. So the eyes are fixed. And be able to see to the side, they actually have twice the number of cervical vertebrae than we do. But they're also very adaptive. They can contract and dilate manually, and it's a way for them to focus. And they're very susceptible to very minute light shifts. So you'll see their eyes, dilate and constrict very, very rapidly.
Oh, I'm in heaven. I have died and gone to heaven. I have. Hello, everybody. Oh, hello, beauties.
These are primarily young birds
Okay.
that
And like how many years? A year? 3 years? Whoa! Hi! No!
so they're learning to fly,
Yes, they are. This
and
is beautiful.
they
I hope somebody comes to see me. Come here.
they'll want to stay away from us. You hear the
Okay.
snapping?
Yes.
That's a warning sound. That's
Okay.
defensive. There's a couple of adults here that are non-releasable that help the young make the transition from their parents into.
So is that an
into life.
older one right there?
No, that's on the left. Yes.
Yes. You
That's
can tell
one of the
because-
older ones.
Okay.
And they're also here to show the young ones how to hunt, because again, hunting is instinctive, but it still takes practice. And great horned owls stay with their parents for 6 to 9 months, and they have to learn behavior, they have to learn socialization, they have to learn how to hunt. And so the pit that I'm standing in, we'll actually introduce live rodents here, and then it allows them to fly down and understand that thing
hunting.
moving they have to grab and catch.
Yeah.
And they're a perch and pounce predator, which means that they'll sit on a perching area, a tree limb, a saguaro cactus, a signpost, and wait for something tasty to walk by. And they can use their hearing to orient themselves to where it's coming from, and then fly down and grab it. Now, a great horned owl, a big female, might weigh 3 to 3¼ pounds, but they can take down about 3 times their weight, so prey up to about 10 pounds. There's a lot of different myths around owls, and being night creatures, a lot of them are negative. They're harbingers of death in some cultures. Actually, in ancient China, if an owl landed on your house, you had to cleanse your house with fire.
Oh.
Well, I guess when you're building thatch roofs, it's pretty easy to do.
Yeah,
But I mean,
sure.
but others, see them as messengers, of the spirit world. So the same thing with hawks. Hawks are also seen as messengers. So there's a lot of different cultural differences between the way they view owls and hawks and birds of prey in general.
And with that being said, I would love to adopt an owl, but I don't think I can, correct?
You can adopt one by paying for its care.
Yes.
All birds of prey, actually all native species of birds, are protected under the Federal Migratory Bird Treaty Act, meaning it's illegal to have them or any part of them, including feathers. So if you're out on a hike and you find a hawk or an owl feather on the ground, best thing to do is to leave it there, because you can be fined for having that in your possession.
And where does your funding come from?
It comes from donations from just individuals. We don't have a lot of corporate support. We don't do big fundraisers. We're a grassroots organization. We are a little different than others. We actually answer our telephone live in person 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And I can vouch for that because I've called you for months, so
Yeah.
I do know that is true.
And because unfortunately animals don't get injured 9 to 5 days
No.
a week, and people need to have someone respond to their cares and concerns. If you find an injured animal and you call and you call and you call, nobody gets back to you, your children are concerned about it, that animal dies before it gets help, you know, the next time you see that, you're not going to get involved because it's too traumatic of an experience.
Right.
So here we answer the phone, we try and get help for the animal right away. And if it's a species we don't deal with, we have a list of other people that we can contact to make sure that is taken care of.
Oh my goodness.
These are high country owls. These are Mexican spotteds. They're the only threatened species in Arizona. And because they are in the high country, we have to have some special conditions here. Actually, I need to put up their air conditioning here this week. We have little swamp coolers we put in the outside because this species does not thermal regulate like other owl species do. So when the heat is, it's really a problem for them. So they get the opportunity of having the air conditioned room in here. And you'll see the female over here, and the smaller bird is the male. So in birds of prey, the females are bigger and stronger than the males. This species, like I say, they're the ones that have been kind of they're a signator species. They're ones who really show the health of our forests. As their numbers diminish, we can tell the forest is not doing well. And so the northern spotteds in the northwest, the southern spotteds, or Mexicans here, have helped protect our old growth forests by not allowing harvesting of some of those old trees.
I just believe, do you trust me? I'm not going to touch you. I just want to see you, okay? Is that okay? Yeah?
Here, our main concern is making sure that they have a high quality of life.
Hello, it's okay. It's okay.
So in here we have some mixed species, young red tails, adult red tails, Harris hawks. These are birds that have been coming with injured wings, just young out of the nest too soon. We've got one little Harris hawk we call Toast, who's down on the other end, and he was actually on a power pole that was a small transformer fire, and he just got flash burned. So all his feathers got charred and singed, so we're gonna have to wait for him to molt completely.
Whoa.
Now red tails, of course, are one of the most common of the hawks. We see them all across the continent. So the juveniles don't have the red tails yet. They're the ones with the speckled breasts and the spotted tails. And as they get about a year old, they start getting in their red tail.
So after they're rehabilitated, you set them free?
We release them, yes.
Yes.
And we search out good release sites where we know there's good food, water, accessibility for them.
And
Areas.
when you do that, though, I noticed they all have something on their legs.
Those are just
tag.
identifiers for us
Okay.
here, so we know which bird is which.
Okay.
Again, keeping track of, last year we took in 620 birds of prey. And we
Whoa.
have to keep track of everything.
So when you release them, do you take the
We
tag
take those tags off. The
Okay.
only time you're allowed to ban birds is if it's a U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service band. And the bird banding laboratory doesn't want rehab birds banded for whatever reason. These are young barn owls. You see up on the top of the box
Oh
there,
my goodness.
all clustered together.
Why can't we go in?
They get a little bit edgy, so we want
Really?
to leave
Yeah.
them alone. So these
They're
are all
just
young ones that are
stunning.
going to get released. Now, barn owls are worldwide in distribution, every continent except Antarctica.
What is that?
That's a barn owl
Woo.
attitude.
Oh yeah.
You see the wings displaying, they make that rattling sound, they'll start to scream. They are probably the best nighttime hunter. That heart-shaped facial disc acts like two separate parabolic microphones. Owl ears are offset, so one is slightly higher and larger than the other. So as a barn owl is hunting, they're flying back and forth across an open field listening for their prey. And they can literally detect the heartbeat of a mouse from about 100 feet away.
Wow. We're gonna go now. You can stop hissing. I know you're mad at Corey. I know, not me. You love me.
These are cactus ferruginous pygmy owls. They're not the smallest owl, but they are one of. And in the state of Arizona, there's less than 3 dozen of these in the wild,
That's it.
relegated down to southern Arizona.
Wow. I noticed is it a he or
It's
she?
a little male, yeah.
Why is his head keep doing that? 'Cause
Mags is blind in the right
Oh,
eye
you know what, I
and
was
only
gonna
partially
ask.
visual in the
Yeah.
left. He's one that, again, good intentions
Okay.
people. He was as a nestling, a little tiny fuzzy baby, The nest was in the side of a wash, and people saw him roll out, and they put him back. And he rolled out again. They put him back. This went on over the course of a couple of days, 5 or 6 times. And their objective was to keep him with the parents. And so when they finally called us and told us what was going on, we said, have you seen the parents? No. So at that age, the reason he's coming out of the nest is he was hungry. And something had probably happened to the adults.
Thank you so much for joining us here in this episode of the Global Rescuers, talking about all things owls and hawks. This is Kimberly reminding you, it only takes one to do something great. Are you the one? Remember, Global Rescuers isn't just a show, it's a movement. We'll see you next time. Hi, little birdie. Okay, again, I didn't wear the right shoes, but that's a girl for you. And Corey, if you spell Bob forward or backward, it's still Bob.
Oh, good.
And speaking from a metaphysical standpoint, if you in numerology,
Yeah.
okay, F relates to 6,
Okay.
O is 6, X is 6.
Whoa, how do you live with that every day?
Oh, I love it.
Oh, okay.